Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to go over UML state machines, and this is the part 2 of this video. If you guys want to check the part 1, so do click the I button or check out the link in the description below. Alright, so let's get started with the state behavior. So here you're given a state S. So as soon as you enter the state S, it's going to execute the entry behavior. So immediately upon entering the state, it executes the entry and then goes on to the do. So the do, it executes while the state it's in the active state. Okay, so while it's in the active, it's going to perform the do. It might not make sense right now, but I will show you guys examples so it's gonna be clear, so don't worry. And then once it's finished with the do, so it's gonna exit the do, so abort do, and then it's gonna go ahead and execute the exit. Okay, it's gonna perform exit and then finally exiting the state. Okay, so I'm gonna do some problems so it's gonna make sense if it doesn't already. So let's go ahead and do some examples. Okay, so here you have like two states. So you have recursive transition over here and an internal transition. Okay, so in the recursive transition, you're just going to repeat the same action over and over again. Okay, whereas in the internal transition, you're only performing one single action. Okay, so let me explain this one first. Okay, so you have a state U, so you're going to enter it, right? Upon entering, you're going to perform the do. Okay, so then the do, in the do behavior, you're going to check the guard. Okay, so you're going to check if the guard is true. If it's true, then you're going to execute the action, which is A. Okay, so you're going to perform, so in here you're simply performing the action A and then you're gonna exit the state. So here the result of this is just A, performing the action A, execute action A. Okay, whereas in this state you're entering, you're executing the do, and then as soon as you go into the do, it's gonna go ahead and check the guard and then perform the action A again. Okay, and then once you're done with the action A, it's gonna go ahead into entry again. Okay, so enter again, from do E, check the guard and execute A. So it's gonna repeat its cycle again and again. Okay, so that's the difference between the recursive transition and internal transition. Alright, so let's moving on to the event processing. Okay, so event processing, so here let me explain how it works. So you're going into the entry state, right? So as soon as you enter the state, you're gonna go into the do state, and the do, what it's gonna do, it's gonna check if the guard is true. Okay, so if the guard is true, only if the guard is true. Okay, so if the guard is true, it's gonna do what? It's gonna abort from the S do. So abort means like it's gonna terminate the do, because what is do doing? It's simply checking if it's true or not, right? So it's gonna stop the do condition once the guard becomes true. So and then it's gonna perform the exit, and upon the exiting, it's gonna perform the action and transition to the T state. Okay, entry, do, check guard, exit, action, transition. That's how we do it. Okay, and then again here, entry, do, exit. So that's how it's happening. Okay, now for this one. Okay, so here, as you guys can see, there's no do over here. No, I mean there's no guard over here. So if there's no guard over here, what it's gonna do, it's gonna go into the do state and then exit it, because there's no guard to check. So it's gonna be true. Okay, so do the do, exit, perform action, and then transition to the T state, entry, and do. Okay, so the S do here rises a completion event because it is completing, because there is no guard. Okay, and here we have an example where there's no do state. Okay, here we had a do state, so that was a good one. But here, if we're missing the do, okay, so if you're missing the do, that is a badly formed transition. Okay, so it is not a no completion event is triggered over here, because this one is badly formed. because of why? Because it is missing the s do. Okay, so you can have a like with no guard, but you cannot have something with no do. Okay, so just keep that in mind, and it also shows up in the exam, so make sure you know it. Okay, so here, so remember I told you guys that for the guard, if it's true, then it's gonna go ahead and abort the do, right? But here we have the condition when, so it's gonna do what? Perform the entry. Okay, as soon as you enter, go in the do. So the do, it's gonna check, it's gonna perform when the guard is true. It's gonna wait. Okay, so every time there is when in front of the guard, it's gonna wait until the guard becomes true. Okay, so before, when you didn't have when, you were just checking if it's true or not. Okay, but here you're just gonna wait. Okay, so for example here, if I write when 8 p.m. so if it's like 6 p.m. so it's gonna wait until it's 8 p.m. right? So it's just gonna wait until it's time for it. So when 8 p.m. so then after that it's 8 p.m. it's gonna abort the do, exit, perform the action, and transition to the next state, and then entry to exit. Okay, so that's how it works. Alright, so you remember in the first part I introduced you guys with this gate control. Okay, so I'm gonna there was no state behaviors over here because I just explained you guys what are state behaviors, right? Here the state behavior. So in the next part I'm explaining the same example but with the state behavior, so check out that part. Until then, bye.